Tonight, Delta State Deputy Governor charges BEDC to restore power supply to affected communities in the state. APC primary elections in Delta described as reflective of the wishes of party members. Nigeria Revenue Service introduces new taxpayer identification number system. And abroad, World Health Organization declares Ebola outbreak in Democratic Republic of Congo an international public health emergency. Very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us on the Delta Television Main News. You can also follow our news online on Facebook and YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or you can visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. Joy Ucheyi is smiling. The state deputy governor, Samando Unyeme, has charged the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC, to restore power supply to Kwale, Ndokwa, Isoko, and other communities in the state. Unyeme gave the charge during a meeting in his office with management team of the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, led by engineer Jonathan Lawani. Pere Botu reports.
The deputy governor said the Governor Sheriff Oborowori-led administration was committed to the even development of all parts of Delta State, and electricity supply played a pivotal role in the delivery of the MORE agenda. He disclosed that the meeting was convened to deliberate on critical challenges affecting power supply in Kwale and to chart a definitive path towards a sustainable solution. The deputy governor noted that one of the reasons for the meeting was because of the problems in terms of constant electricity supply, noting that though it was not peculiar to some states or geopolitical zone. The deputy governor electricity supply played a pivotal role in the delivery of the MORE agenda. It disclosed that the meeting was convened to deliberate on critical challenges affecting power supply in Kwale and to chart a definitive path towards a sustainable resolution. The deputy governor noted that one of the reasons for the meeting was because of the problems in terms of constant power supply, noting that though it was not peculiar to some states or geopolitical zone. He said Kwale and Ndokwa ethnic nationality and the people of Isoko ethnic nationality have raised an alarm over the lack of power supply in their communities, adding that affected communities have embarked on a series of protests in the state and Abuja over the issue. He challenged BEDC to give power supply to communities in Delta State so that they can also enjoy what other Nigerians are enjoying in Abuja and other parts of the country. The Commissioner for Power and Energy, Engineer Michael Anoka, who was at the meeting where Engineer Lawani earlier briefed the Deputy Governor on technical constraints, including vandalism, that had affected the supply of electricity in Kwale, Isoko, and other communities. Engineer Lawani pledged to work with the Delta State government to fast-track the restoration of power to the affected communities. I am Pere Botu reporting.
State Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Anyango, has defended the conduct of the APC primaries in the state. Were free, fair, and reflective of the wishes of party members across the state. Speaking on a day, Mr. Charles Anyango dismissed allegations of manipulation and imposition of some aggrieved aspirants, saying the primaries for the 10 federal constituencies and 3 senatorial conducted open through the option A4 voting system. That aspirants who emerged victorious won because of the mood of party members. He commended Governor Sheriff Oborowori and Bola Tinubu and the APC national leadership for allowing a level playing field and maintaining a transparent democratic process during the primaries. Meanwhile, Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, has congratulated winners of the APC senatorial primaries in Delta State, describing the exercise as the best conducted by the party in the state since its inception. Mr. Keyamo, in a statement, lauded candidates who emerged victorious in Delta North, Delta Central, and Delta South senatorial districts, saying their victories reflected the wishes of party members and the strength of grassroots participation across the wards. He described the exercise as a demonstration of genuine internal democracy and called on unsuccessful aspirants to accept the outcome in good faith and work with the winners for unity and success of the APC ahead of next year's general elections. Minister also commended President Bola Tinubu and Governor Sharif Obori for promoting inclusive leadership and internal democracy within the party, while urging APC members nationwide to remain united and committed ahead of future elections. APC National Assembly Primaries Appeal Committee of the state has received 5 petitions arising from the party's recently concluded National Assembly primaries in the state. Chairman of the committee, Dr. Chuka Ujam, who disclosed this, said the committee was reviewing complaints submitted by aggrieved party members and stakeholders over the conduct of the exercises. He explains that the 5-member panel first arrived in the state after the House of Rep on Peace Building Conflict Resolution, Chief Edwin Uzo, has charged partisans in the state to support the All Progressives Congress APC to attract dividends of democracy. Chief Uzo gave charge during a meeting with the state chairman of the artisans and the special assistant to the governor on artisans in his office in Asaba. Henry Unogwa.
Wait till next Monday, we will tell them our position and our finding. But what is very important, all of them should know that there is no going back. The music is one, the song should be one. Everybody is going towards APC. That the Tinubu, all the candidates see that has emerged, there is no back. That is where they will go.
Requested details of the alleged encroachers to enable that all parties involved for proper engagement and resolution of the matter. He added that both would later participate in a joint meeting after preliminary consultations. The petitioners, who narrated their grievances before the committee, expressed satisfaction with the meeting and pledged to maintain peace and cooperate with the government.
That is the reason why I choose to be here. I choose to bring in the notice of the state government to be aware of what is happening. We need to work with state government. They should be calm, continue to work with the state government, waiting for the resolution of the sitting for today.
Henry Onogwa reporting.
The Blessed Mama sized their potential. The call came at a celebration of this year's International Day of the Boy Child, held at TECAD. Equal attention should be given to issues affecting the theme. Say No to Drug Abuse was aimed at enlightening school children on the dangers of drug abuse and other negative activities capable of destroying their future. Speakers at the event, including an official of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NLEA, advised students to stay away from illicit drugs and criminal activities, while some students lauded the program as timely, pledging to avoid substance abuse. A social-political group in Anioma Nation, Agugu Anioma, has congratulated the immediate past governor of the state, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa on his emergence says the All Progressives Congress APC candidate for Delta North Senatorial District ahead of the 2027 general elections. The reports.
The convener of the group, Honorable Louis Ogugwa Ndukwe, described Senator Okowa's victory as a reflection of the confidence and trust reposed in him by the people of Delta North Senatorial District following the conclusion of the APC senatorial primary elections held in the state.
To thank Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, amiable President, for the level playing field enabled all through Nigeria, most especially in Delta State, and through which, by the grace of God, our candidates have all emerged successfully. We also want to use this opportunity to thank the governor of our state, our amiable governor, the working governor, Right Honorable Elder Sheriff Oborewori, for his administrative skills, which is an encompassment of both security and the peace we enjoyed yesterday in the course of the election.
Honorable Ndukwe said the outcome of the primary election demonstrated the political strength and grassroots acceptance of the former governor in Anyama land and Delta State at large. The movement commended APC members for what it called a peaceful and transparent exercise, while urging party faithful to remain united ahead of the 2027 general elections. According to the group, it will mobilize support across communities in Anyama land to ensure the victory of Senator Okowa in the forthcoming senatorial election.
Above all, we want to thank our people in Anyama land for their support. The trooping out yesterday was massive. As you can see, it was highly organic. There is nothing anybody wants to say about the election yesterday than for us to keep thanking our people for the love they have shown Senator Ato Ifeanyi Okowa. It shows that he is a man of the people. There's no wavering, there's no casting the doubt, there's no denying the fact that he is a man to beat any day, anytime. So we want to also, apart from thanking our people for their massive support yesterday, to reevaluate the way forward, because the general election is by the corners. We're not going to go to sleep. We're enjoying everybody to still remain vigilant, to be awake, to remain on the field for mobilizing towards the general election.
Aguwa Anyama called on party supporters and residents of Delta North to close ranks and work collectively for the continued growth and political stability of the state and the nation.
The Nigeria Revenue Service, NRS, has introduced a new taxpayer identification tax ID system, making it mandatory for all taxable persons in the country to obtain a tax ID in line with the Nigerian Tax Administration Act 2025. The agency, in a statement on its X handle, said the new system would serve as a unified identity for taxpayers, improve transparency, reduce leakages, and simplify tax registration, filing and payment processes across federal and state tax authorities. The NRS added that the new tax ID system would replace the existing tax identification number TIN validation API currently used by ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, financial institutions, and other organizations as part of efforts to modernize Nigeria. Speaking during the 2026 Batch B pre-mobilization workshop in Abuja, Brigadier General Olakunle Nafiu said the new requirements would improve verification and documentation of academic records nationwide. NYSC Director General also called for improved transparency, digital verification processes, and stronger collaboration among institutions involved in mobilization. Director of Core Mobilization, Mrs. Rachel Idiawo said the workshop was aimed at enhancing service delivery and building confidence in the mobilization system nationwide. Still to come on the news, World Health Organization declares Ebola outbreak in DR Congo an international public health emergency. Details of this and more shortly. Stay with us.
Hooray! Another May 27 is here, a day set aside to celebrate children. Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS Asaba, is set for a wonderful time out for children this season. Oh yes! It is the DBS Asaba Youth and Children's Day Cultural Carnival 2026. Theme, Building the Future Through Youth and Culture. The event is aimed at promoting the beautiful culture of our people and encouraging children to imbibe same. The event will feature cultural march past, art workshop training session for parents and children, painting, drawing, tie and dye, cultural dance competition, Nigerian food competition, Nigerian language knowledge competition, cultural fashion parade. There'll be lots to eat and drink and wonderful gifts to go home with. Delta Broadcasting Service, DBS Asaba, is calling on schools to be part of the Cultural Carnival competition, which will attract trophy and prizes to winners of the competitions. Corporate bodies and churches can register children for this special Children's Day event. That's not all. The brochure for the event will serve as a vehicle for warm felicitations for our children, as well as platform for business owners to advertise their goods and services. For schools participation and sponsorship, please visit the marketing department or call 0803-326-6801. Maureen on 0803-778-1910. Date, Wednesday, 27th May 2026. Venue, DBS Event Place, Opanam Road, Asaba. Time, 9 a.m. DBS Asaba Youth and Children's Day Cultural Carnival 2026. Let's meet there.
The host community, try as much as possible to guide your utterances. No company can be intimidated. The companies are also urged to keep to their social responsibility, the corporate social responsibility. I always say it, keep to it. If you keep to the corporate social responsibility, no host community will hold you ransom.
Thank you for staying on. If you're just joining us, you are watching the Delta Television main news. We're going straight on to the foreign scene. The World Health Organization, WHO, has declared the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo an international public health emergency after at least 131 deaths and more than 513 suspected cases linked to the Bundibugyo virus strain. Authorities in Democratic Republic of Congo said the outbreak was spreading to wider areas, while the United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, confirmed 2 Ebola cases and 1 death in neighboring Uganda. The WHO said emergency response measures were being intensified with regional governments and international partners to contain the outbreak and prevent further spread. The United States President, Mr. Donald Trump, has said he has suspended a planned military attack on Iran following appeals from leaders of Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates as negotiations with Tehran intensified. Mr. Trump, in a post on Truth Social, said serious talks were underway and expressed confidence that a deal acceptable to the United States will be reached, stressing that any agreements must ensure that Iran do not acquire nuclear weapons. The U.S. president, however, warned that the military remained prepared to launch a large-scale assault on Iran at short notice if negotiations failed to produce an acceptable outcome. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump has warned Taiwan against pursuing formal independence following talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing. Speaking in an interview with newsmen, Mr. Trump said he wanted both Taiwan and China to cool down, stressing that the United States was not seeking a military conflict over the island. His remarks were among the strongest comments by the U.S. president on the sensitive Taiwan issue. The comments triggered reactions from Taiwan, with officials insisting the island had no immediate need to formally declare independence. China, which claims Taiwan as part of its territory, had accused Taiwanese President Lai Ching-te of promoting separatism. The federal government has urged Nigerian entrepreneurs, innovators, and startup businesses to apply for this year's African Continental Free Trade Area AFCFTA Startup Acceleration and Partnership Program. The initiative was launched by the AFCFTA Secretariat in partnership with the government of South Korea and the Korea Africa Foundation. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, about 30 African startups in sectors such as fintech, digital commerce, manufacturing, logistics, and agriculture would benefit from mentorship, business support, market exposure, and investment opportunities in South Korea. The ministry encouraged qualified Nigerian startups with innovative business models to apply through the official AFCFTA website before the May 31 deadline, reaffirming federal government's commitment to youth entrepreneurship, innovation, and economic integration. Residents of Asaba in Delta State have continued to express concerns over rising commodity prices as the cost of food items and household goods remains unstable across major markets. Traders at the Ogbo-Ogonogo Modern Market said prices of staples such as rice, beans, gari, yam, and cooking oil continue to fluctuate due to inflation, transportation costs, and supply challenges. Market operators also blame insecurity in food-producing communities and rising fuel costs for the persistent increase in retail prices. Economic analysts said, although some food commodities have recorded slight reductions in certain periods, weak purchasing power continues to affect many households. Observers maintain that long-term stability in commodity prices will depend on improved supply chains, lower transport costs, and sustained agricultural support across the country. The Anambra State Governor, Professor Charles Soludo, has introduced a new funeral regulation in the state aimed at reducing extravagant burial ceremonies and financial pressure on families. The law bans the presentation of expensive condolence gifts, such as cows, goats, and bags of rice during funerals, while violators risk a fine of 100,000 naira, 6 months imprisonment, or both. The reform, passed by the Anambra State House of Assembly, also directed that all burial ceremonies must end within 1 day and abolished wake-keep ceremonies. Virgil masses and service of songs must end by 9 p.m. without food, drinks, live bands, or cultural entertainment. The regulation further stated that corpses must not remain in mortuaries for more than 2 months, while posters and billboards of deceased persons were restricted. The state government said monitoring committees will be established to enforce compliance across communities. And in sports, Nigeria's Super Eagles have been drawn against Tanzania Madagascar and Guinea-Bissau in Group L of the qualifiers for 2027 Africa Cup of Nations AFCON. The draw was held today in Cairo, Egypt, ahead of the tournament to be hosted by Tanzania, Kenya, and Uganda. Nigeria, who finished third at the last AFCON and were runners-up in 2023, have previously faced all three opponents in recent competitions, including victories over Tanzania and Madagascar. CAF President Petrus Motsepe said preparations for the 2027 tournament remain on course, with qualification matches scheduled to begin in September this year. And thus our news. Here is a thought for the day. Remember that the happiest people are not those getting more, but those giving more. And that's the thoughts. But just before we go, here are the highlights of the news. The state deputy governor, Armando Onyeme, has charged the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, BEDC, to restore power supply to Kwale, Ndokwa, Isoko, and other communities in the state. Onyeme gave the charge during a meeting in his office with management team of the Benin Electricity Distribution Company, led by engineer Jonathan Lawani. The State Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads and Public Information, Mr. Charles Anyango, has defended the conduct of the APC primaries in the state, saying the exercises were free, fair and reflective of the wishes of party members across the state. The Nigerian Revenue Service, NRS, has introduced a new taxpayer identification tax ID system, making it mandatory for all taxable persons in the country to obtain a tax ID in line with the Nigeria Tax Administration Act 2025. The World Health Organization, WHO, has declared the Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo an international public health emergency after at least 131 deaths and more than 513 suspected cases linked to the Bundibugyo virus strain. You can also follow our news online on Facebook at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba and on YouTube at Delta Broadcasting Service Asaba, or you can visit our website at www.dbsasaba.com. Thank you so much for watching. On behalf of the news editor and her production team, Joy Ucheyi Ismail.